Welcome to another episode, Master Moats Film Session, and it is brought to you by DRAFTKINGS Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook, and that not only is it safe, but it's secure, and more importantly, it is reliable. And for all my first-time users out there, if you use the promo code Moats, you will receive up to $1,000 in deposit bonus. Now, I don't know about you, but I love deposit bonus. That means if I enter in my money early on, DraftKings is going to give me free money to go along with my money to bet. Who wants that? I mean, how can you turn that down, baby? So what are you waiting on? Make sure you go download the app, use the promo code Moats, and let's have an opportunity to get that money, because that's all we need is the opportunity. All right, now we got to talk about Antoine Brooks Jr., the rookie, man, getting the opportunity to play some extensive action against the Bengals. So we're going to break down a couple of his plays, and after that, we'll talk about him a little bit more. So here we go right here in full speed, and after that, we'll slow it down. And this is young Brooks Jr. right there. All right. Now, just to start it off, man, from a coverage standpoint, what the Steelers are playing, it's essentially cover one, but it's a two-man concept, but they're going to double the interior receivers. So right here, you got Edmonds and Brooks. They're going to double this guy right here. And then you got Minka, and this is Cam Sutton right here because he's going to be the interior guy. They're going to double whichever is the most interior receiver between Tyler Boyd, and I think this is AJ Green right here, okay? So as this thing progresses, we see front side, that double is defined right now. We see these two guys, it's clear. Then on the backside, you see Minka crashing down right now, and that's Cam Sutton right there, okay? So you can see the double team on the interior, and a lot of that was based on Joe Burrow. When you watched him on tape, man, he excelled in his short to intermediate passing. He didn't really take too many shots deep downfield, but he executed extremely well in these particular areas. And this is possession down. So remember, I mean, this is a historic night for the Steelers in terms of forcing the Bengals to go 0 for 13 on third downs. And a lot of that was due to some of these different coverage concepts that they used. And Antoine Brooks was a big factor in that. He took on Cam Sutton's role because obviously with Mike Hilton being out, Cam Sutton took on Mike Hilton's role. So the thing that I like about this from a coverage standpoint, I'll just rewind it back a little bit for you, is right out the gate, man, a couple of things. Brooks knows he has hope inside. So you see, it was very subtle, but right here at the beginning, just watch how he initially his head up. Now watch it at the end, just slightly outside shade. That right there, I like that because it's letting me know he understands where his leverage is. He knows where he has hope. So that's why he slightly moves outside, because that's gonna influence this receiver to take more of an inside release. Brooks knows, hey, I can't get hurt out here because I don't have help out here, but inside I have some help. So he uses that leverage. And from there, staying square, right? You see the shuffle right here. I like that. And now you got this receiver where you want him. In terms of him not being able to break inside or outside, the only thing he can do is go vertical here, but he still isn't going to have that luxury because it's going to be a very tight window to throw in. So Brooks knows that. Brooks does a good job right here showing patience. Now, I love this right here. Overplay heavy outside, and then get your head around, because we talk about, man, some of the reasons why DBs get penalties thrown on them is when they're in the point of contact, right? Or they're in phase, like this guy's about to be once he speeds turn, once he comes out of his turn, they don't get their head around. So right here, his head isn't around. And Burrow, if he, wanted to take this chance right here, he could potentially throw this guy open because Brooks' head, he isn't around. He can't see the ball. Also, if the pass is underthrown, this receiver would have to go through Brooks and then ultimately draw a penalty. But right here, Brooks starts to turn his head around. That is beautiful, because now not only from a technique standpoint, his body is touching him, right? And that's the rule. You never look back for the ball unless you could touch the receiver. His arm is on the receiver so he could feel him, but now he can also see it. And now if there's any type of contact, referees are less likely to call this because your eyes are back and you're playing the ball. Thought it was a great job by him though, man. Just being fundamental, understanding his leverage, and using technique, man. And I thought as a whole, man, he really displayed really good understanding of the different coverages right there. Like I said, that was a two-man where they essentially made it a double team on the interior receivers. But overall, man, really good job by Brooks executing, staying clean from a technique standpoint, And ultimately, man, making sure that Burrow couldn't complete any passes on third down. All right, so now this next play with Antoine Brooks Jr., put the respect on his name. Now he's in the slot right here, okay? And from the beginning of this thing, man, we're going to play it out. It's cover one, but just watch him right here. This is him in the slot, okay? All right, now a couple of things to give you some context on this. Now, I told you it's cover one, so we already know, the guys that are matched up with who. But this is in the middle of the 2-minute drill that the Bengals were running. This is about 3 or 4 plays into the drive now. So it's good to see that even though he's been out there a couple of plays, still mentally where he needs to be, understanding, what they're trying to accomplish defensively. So now we saw in the last clip where he was a part of the double team, so he had more of an outside leverage, and he overplayed the outside. Right here, similar concept, but with it being cover one, he knows he has help, but it's inside and it's going to be late from one of these safeties here, whether it's Minka, who's going to come down, or Edmonds, who's in the middle of the field. Now, the thing I like is the patience coming out of it, and then just reading the break, understanding. We talked about the differences when we're playing our coverage, right? If you're playing bump and run versus when you're playing off man, the challenges with both of them, okay? So with, the bump and run element of it, does it disrupt this guy? Absolutely. Push you in phase a lot quicker, so you're part of the action a lot faster. When you're going to play off, though, you want to be the better athlete, and you have to be right, in terms of your break. And in this scenario, he was right. This scenario, you see him playing off, he has slightly outside leverage because he knows he has help inside, whether it's Minka low or Edmonds high. So he's sitting on this outbreaking route, and now he knows, okay, with my leverage, this guy isn't trying to threaten me here. And let's be real, 89, I don't remember his name right now, but he isn't as scary of a receiver as T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and AJ Green. So I did like the fact that Brooks was challenging this receiver and not allowing him to just, get this 10-yard cushion and not really press up on him. So as he's breaking down and coming on this break right here, it was perfect because Burrow is actually looking here. When we go to the end zone copy, Burrow wants this throw right here, but it's not there. And now it makes him hold the ball, and that allows TJ Watt to come home and get the sack right there. But Antoine did a really good job, like I said, of understanding his leverage, understanding where the strengths and weaknesses are in this particular coverage, and making sure that he challenged the receiver, man, because that was ultimately what freed up TJ. Now we can just watch right here in full speed, and you'll see Joe is looking over here. Joe wants this throw right there. He wanted it, but it wasn't there, man. Great job, like I said, once again, by Antoine. But right here, let's watch his head. He's down here, right here. He wants it right now. Front hand is coming off the ball. He's looking to go there right now. Antoine is closing in on that thing. Great job by TJ also, like I said, coming through the middle. And then from there, man, you get the sack. But it all works together, man. When we talk about great defenses, it starts with rush and coverage. Your coverage has to be good and your rush has to be good. Have to work together. And right there was a prime example of that, man. All right, now this last play, we're going to talk about Antoine Brooks again. Once again, like I said, in man-to-man coverage. Here he is right here. So you know what we'll do, man. Play it in full speed. And after that, we're going to break it down for you. All righty. Now, even with this particular play right here, so the Steelers are in a cover one again, okay? And Brooks doing what he does, showing that smartness. You see him very subtle every time. He's super subtle with this thing, man. He's going to walk around, act as if right here, he's giving you a little bit of Hollywood, make it look like he might blitz, a little a la Mike Hilton right there. But then what does he do? He settles right back to where he needs, okay? And now he's going to take that nice little shuffle step to get outside. Yep. It's small detail, but just to get the leverage how you want it at the beginning of the route. And then you take a little quick shuffle right there. You're staying square. But ultimately, what have you done? Now you've defined it for not only you, but for your help. You see Minka's roaming down inside. So if he breaks in right now, Minka's jumping now, okay? Draw it up for you. So yeah, so right now, like I said, he's subtly outside leverage. So if this receiver breaks in, Minka's right there to jump that. If he stays vertical, skinny post, any of that, you still got the middle of the field safety and Edmonds right here. So really good job just understanding the defense, understanding where your help is. Now from there, I do like him getting hands on the receiver. You do have to be careful though in this particular area, because I mean, when you're on that fringe, a lot of times the referees will give you a little bit of a grace period, right? We say you got to bump them within 5 yards. Sometimes it's 5 to 7 yards, as long as you're not in the action. I mean, if Joe Burrow was throwing the ball right now, this is going to be a flag because of the contact. But because he's not, you get away with it. And like I said, some of that stuff, man, is ticky-tack when referees do call it, but it's just 50-50 in terms of if they'll call it or not. A lot of times, though, I personally have noticed that they don't call it as long as you're not to the point of attack in terms of it being quick game. But really good job by him, because you should be able to tell just off of the release. If a receiver is going to try to do something quick, man, they're not going to spend a lot of time, in this line of scrimmage. They're going to one cut and go right now. So him coming off with this more elongated sprinter stance, coming off the snap, that lets you know that this is going to be more of a downfield route. He's not going right now. He's still getting vertical. So like I said, good job right here getting your hands on him. Stay clean though. And now you just got to run with him. You got help inside right here. And like I said, as a whole, I thought he did a really good job all game of understanding his leverage, understanding where they would potentially try to attack him at. And I just love the energy that he plays with, man. Every time you see this kid on the field, he's jumping around, he's hyped up, he's throwing his hands up in the air, man. Shows like, it just looks like a guy who's having fun. And that's what you ultimately love to see. But really good job. Like I said, get your hands on him, disrupt him a little bit, use your leverage, and after that, celebrate with your guys, baby. Now with Antoine, man, I thought, like I said, I was really impressed with what he did in this extended action. I do think that as he continues to get more opportunities, he will continue to progress. He even had a really good blitz later on in the game. The reason I put it in here was because obviously once everybody had got pulled and stuff like that. But as a whole, man, I think he's playing really well. And let's see if he can continue to build on it. So as always, I appreciate you for tuning in. Until next time, peace.